everybody understands that SMEs are not only important to develop the economy, but also, in my opinion, my very humble opinion, human development. And I'll please mark my words why I call human development, is if you look at a country like Indonesia, Tanri mentioned about 60 million SME enterprises, which accounts for around 60% of GDP. And when you look at it from an employment perspective, it creates 97% of the country's employment. So this 60 million was 57 million, as you saw 3 years ago. So the CAGR in the last 3 years, the compounded annual growth rate in the last 3 years, has only been a mere 3%. So while ideas flow through, while SMEs try and come into the space, everybody asks the key question is, what's going wrong? And why SMEs cannot flourish, even though they are very important. They are in vast number. 60 million in Indonesia would roughly account for 60% of GDP. If you actually look at people trying to try and find reasons of why SMEs don't succeed, and you know, one of those obvious reasons would be the access to financial credits. I think what we are trying to do is we are not trying to find reasons for somebody's success, but excuses for our own failure. That's what we try to do. It's very, very easy for us to say that, you know, financial services industry does not support the SME sector, but where is a concerted and comprehensive approach to dealing with SME is the point. And we were very glad to see the previous presentation. The keynote speaker mentioned about Boomra in Indonesia. It can take various forms in anywhere else in the world, but there has to be a concerted effort to try and put together an ecosystem, if you may, that would allow entrepreneurs to flourish their ideas. It would allow government to also play a role. And I think Boomra or initiatives like Boomra can only happen if the government plays the leading role. You know, it's enough of lip service that we've done so far, saying that SMEs are great, they support economies. What is going wrong is the financial guys that do not give credit. For the financial services industry to extend credit to the SME sector, definitely they are more interested to do that, but there has to be a very congregated approach towards that, towards giving them credit, because at the end of the day, financial services industry is also responsible towards its stakeholders. You know, so credit is there at a price, but the bottom line is that we need to have concerted efforts towards it. I'm very glad that today we've got a copyrighted initiative called Boomra. But other than that, I think if you just take out the word Boomra, you will look at what we are trying to do is we are trying to create an ecosystem which would institutionalize the approach that SME should have, whether they are farmers, whether they are within trade, whether they are within manufacturing. They'd have an institutional approach. When you have an institution or a corporation, it has better access to funding, it has better access to markets, it has better access to the legal system. And I think that's very, very important.